You've continually described your cinema as a depiction of the Filipino struggle throughout the ages, from Spanish colonialism to American, Japanese, the dictatorship of Marcos, then the presidency of Duterte. And I wonder where this one fits for you. Is it the beginning of it all? And can you go back further in time than this?
Oo, ang tinatawag na struggle ng Pilipino, hindi naman nagsimula sa panahon ni Magellan, pero parang kung i-anchor mo yung kasaysayan ng bayan, ito yung unang natalang kasaysayan ng Pilipino.
Yes, if you think about the Philippine struggle, it really didn't start with Magellan, but this was the first time that uh, the history was recorded.
About that history, you mentioned 7 years in the making, and I was curious about the research you did around this. Of course, Magellan is into all the textbooks in the Philippines as well as Enrique.
Si Magellan, bahagi na ng kultura Pilipino mula sa mga kanta ni Yoyoy Villame, sa mga tula, textbooks, kwentong bayan. Pero napansin ko walang tamang pananaliksik talaga sa nangyari noon.
Magellan is already in the fabric of Philippine culture, from the songs of Yo-Yo Villame, a popular singer, to books, uh, records, etc. But I've noticed that there hasn't been a really deep investigation into the story of Magellan.
Ganun din sa kung sasaliksikin mo ang tinatawag na kamalayang Pilipino, may suliranin ang kamalayang Pilipino sa tamang pananaliksik sa nakaraan.
That's also true with the Philippine culture. Filipinos have a problem about properly investigating their past.
So, makikita mo yan sa kailan lang nangyaring martial law, kailan lang nangyaring digmaang pandaigdig, World War II, hanggang sa panahon ni Duterte, parang ang daling lumimot.
So you can see this in the tragedies, the Marcos era, World War II, the Duterte era. It seems like it's so easy to forget.
So bahagi ng responsibilidad ng paggawa sa kultura, katulad ng cinema, katulad nitong Magellan, kasama yan sa konfrontasyon sa nakaraan.
So the responsibility of cultural work like this one, Magellan, is part of the confrontation with the past.
Could you tell a little more about your sources? Magellan's story is told by the chronicler Pigafetta. Like, what sparked your interest, or where did you think that your historical investigation or imagination as a storyteller could maybe expand on this
Noong
narrative?
sinimulan namin ito, nung kinausap ako ni Albert Sira at saka ni Joaquim Sapino, andito si Joaquim, anong magiging koneksyon ng Portugal, ng Espanya at saka Pilipinas para matulungan ka namin?
When
Sige.
Yeah, when the producers Albert Serra, who's Spanish, and Joaquim Sapino, who's here, who is Portuguese, approached me to ask what can we do that connects the Philippines with Spain and Portugal. That's how it started.
Of course, ang simula ay pananaliksik research.
And of course, the beginning of it all is research and investigation.
So, 7 taon kong ginawa yon. Nagbasa ako ng maraming libro, lahat ng pwedeng basahin. mga andyan na mga libro, yung mga popular na libro mula kay Pigafetta hanggang sa published books tungkol kay Magellan. Tapos tuwing may pagkakataon, nasa mga libraries ako sa Europe, kung saan man.
So it took me 7 years to do the research. First, the more popular, easier to get books, like the Pigafetta Chronicles, and then later other books. And whenever I had the chance, I would be in the libraries when I go to Europe.
Ang kwento ni Magellan parang parang epicong Odyssey, parang Homer siya eh. Paano mo paiikliin yun na magiging cinema?
The story of Magellan is epic, just like Homer, just like Odyssey. And the question is, how would you compress that to make it into cinema?
Kaya nung nagsimula na kami ng shooting, naghanda kami ng 6 na buwan, tinayo namin yung village ng Cebu, tinayo namin yung village ng Malacca. And then, nag-shoot sa Portugal, nag-shoot sa Espanya, nag-shoot sa Pilipinas. Ang dami namin ginawa. Ang daming ginawa. Na siguro aabot, kung i-cut ko yung pinakamahabang version ng pelikula, aabot sa 9 o 10 taon, 10 oras ang haba.
So when we started, we spent 6 months to reconstruct the villages of Cebu, of Malacca, and we also went to Europe, Portugal, Spain. And if I were to put together all that we did and that we filmed, we'd come up with a 9 to 10 hour film.
Pero ito yung unang pelikula, siyempre.
But this is the first film from the project.
Yung mas mahabang version, ibang pelikula na yan.
The longer version will be an entirely different film on its own.
Ito parang... ang hirap gawin kasi ang dami naming footages. So parang ito parang acid trip lang siya, parang tula lang siya na.
It will be a challenge because we have so much footage. This one here is just like an acid trip. Yeah, just like doing a poem.
Could you explain a little bit acid trip?
Yeah, it's ito parang kulang sa informasyon pero punong-puno ng emosyon, punong-puno ng sinasabi kong katotohanan na nakita ko noon, nung panahon na yun.
This one doesn't have much information, but it's full of emotions, it's full of truths that I saw at that time I was working on it.
Kung nananaliksik ka kasi, dahil popular na kwento na yan, mas titingnan mo yung mga hindi nakikita, yung maliliit na nuances, yung mga nakalimutan, yung maliliit na detalye.
Because when you're researching, when you're investigating, especially about a story that's popular, you like to see the nuances, the details that have been forgotten, the little ones.
At ang daming kontradiksyon mula sa kwento ni Pigafetta. Ang daming kontradiksyon sa mga sinasabi niya, sa mga katotohanan nakikita mo na habang tinitingnan mo rin yung version ng mga ibang taong nakasurvive ng panahon na yan.
And there's so many contradictions. For example, if you see the account of Pigafetta and then you read other accounts, there are so many contradictions.
Could you talk a little bit about how you structure the film, especially with that middle section that slows everything down on this boat?
Ang strukturang ito, milagro eh.
The structure is a miracle, to be honest. Yeah.
Ang dami kasi, there was a lot. Ang dami, so milagro lang siya na nakabuo kami ng ganito.
Because, there were so many things that was happening. It was just a miracle that we managed to put this together.
ang hirap gawin. There's a lot of work. Ang daming trabahong ginawa. And it's talagang commitment na grabe. 7 taon and then 1 taon 7 taon yung pananaliksik. 1 taon yung paggawa ng pelikula. Pati kaluluwa mo mawawala eh. Kailangan andun ka lagi.
There was so much work, 7 years of research, 1 year of filmmaking, and really so many challenges that it would pretty much swallow your soul. And you
Ngayon,
really have
pwede
to
na
be
ako,
committed.
Pwede na ako maging psychiatrist ngayon eh. Magtayo ng psychiatric ward. At si Gael Garcia Bernal ang unang pasyente.
So after all this, I can now be a psychiatrist. I can start. I can even open a psychiatric ward, and Gael Garcia Bernal will be the first patient.
Totoo yun.
That is true.
We love each other. You know.
We love each other. Oh, no need to
He's a
translate
great
that.
guy.
Yeah,
Napakabuti niyang tao, napakatalinong tao.
he's a great guy. Such a good soul. Such an intelligent person.
Pero baliw din siya minsan.
But he's also
Crazy.
mad and crazy
And he's great. He's great.
at times.
Maybe one last question before opening to the audience, but your films are always intense physical journeys. This time you made it a little bit easier for the audience, but I think harder on yourself.
Is it easy? Madali ba?
I mean, you tell.
Everybody was asleep, no?
No. Everybody stayed. That's for sure. So, how hard was this shooting for you? I know that you said that you felt sick and.
I almost died. Muntik ako namatay. 2 araw pagkatapos ng first cut, nag-relax yung katawan ko. Naligo ako. Bigla na lang sumusukan ako ng napakaraming dugo. Ang dami, talagang dami. Ilong, bunganga, hindi ako makahinga. At inaalaala ko yung auntie ko na namatay ng TB, na nalunod sa dugo habang namamatay siya. So kumapit ako. And, after that, dinala ako sa hospital.
I almost died 2 days after finishing the first cut. I was taking a shower and I coughed out blood, and blood started coming out of my mouth, my nose, everywhere. And I remember my aunt who died of blood. She had tuberculosis and she drowned in blood. So I just hanged on to the curtain shower, the curtain rod,
To dear life.
to dear life.
Ito, ang hirap talaga kasi akala ko mamamatay na ako. Pero ganun pala yun. Para siyang rebirth, yun nangyari. Pagkatapos ng 8 taon na trabaho, akala mo magpapahinga ka na pero hindi, mamamatay ka na pala.
That was really almost a rebirth. I realized it was like that after 8 years of hard work. You thought you would be able to rest, and then you find out that you were probably gonna die.
Well, good to see you here.
I'm still looking for a guy who was giving me marijuana before. Yeah, his name is Wilson, Washington Square Park, in front of the NYU Library. I know him. Even in the dead of winter, he's giving me the marijuana. This was 1995.
A question, anybody? Maybe from the weed dealer.
Yeah, questions?
Wait for the microphone because it's recorded. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask about the soundscape of the film, because it always feels like the character is only like one part of the world, and I was just curious how you came to that technique or that style that you used.
Bahagi na yun ng cinema ko, yung tunog na totoo. Hindi ako gumagamit ng soundtrack. Kaya sa panahon ng post-production, ang ginagawa namin, Maliban sa natural na sound na nakuha na ng shooting, dinadagdagan na lang namin. At ina-adjust namin yung tunog sa panahon ng tunog na yun.
That's really just part of my process of filmmaking. I don't have a soundtrack. I just use ambient sound. And when we do post, we just augment that ambient sound.
Ganun lang kasimple yan.
It's just that simple.
Lalapitan mo yung katotohanan ng tunog ng panahon na yun at ng tunog na eksena na yun.
You just have to approach the sound of that period and that scene and just embrace that truth.
Just here.
It was a remarkable experience watching the film, and thank you. As somebody who was only vaguely familiar with Magellan from my elementary school days, I had no idea of the cruelty that was engaged in. Is that something? Was that a construct that you created, or is that documented contemporaneous documents?
It was the ethos of the period. Talagang marahas sila noon. Bibigyan kita ng maiksing kwento nung panahon na yon. Si Magellan nahubog sa karahasan.
It was the ethos of that period. It was a really violent time. I'll tell you a story. Magellan was shaped through violence.
Ang unang viceroy ng Portugal sa pangangamkam nila sa mundo, si Almeida, si Viceroy Almeida.
The first viceroy of Portugal,
Under King Manuel.
in their accumulation of wealth around the world was Almeida.
From mula 1504 hanggang 1511, ang mga massacre sa Morocco, ang mga massacre sa India, ang tansya nila, they were killing 2,000 a day sa mga massacres na yung atake nila doon.
From 1504 to 1511, with all their massacres in Morocco, in India, and other places, the estimate is that they were killing 2,000 a day
And it
through those
extended.
massacres.
Nag-extend dyan kay Albuquerque. After Almeida was banished by King Manuel. King Manuel is the first Hitler and the first Putin. Anyway, when Albuquerque took over, it was the same. Ganun pa rin. Massacres in Goa. And then they went back to Malacca. Bumalik sila sa Malacca. They massacred the whole of Malacca for like 15 days. It was terrible. Even in Goa, even in Cananore in India, in Cochin, in Kerala, massacres. North of Morocco, massacres and massacres. It was the ethos of the period. What you saw in the film is just little of what's really happening then. Massacres and massacres, rapes, rampage on indigenous peoples.
I see a forest of hands, but I'm told that we have to leave it there. So sorry about that. I encourage you to see Lav's other films. Or thank you so much, Lav, and thank you.
Thank you.